say it again before.
What are the different types of permanent life insurance?
Permanent is the whole life.
Whole life.
And universal and variable. Index.
Oh, she named all of them.
She was yesterday, by the way.
Okay. You know, I had to go to training.
I had it twice. This is class chapter 3, of course. I had it one time with him yesterday with him.
All right.
I'm just saying words, but I kept on reading this. I kept on every chapter.
Yesterday. The whole life, universal life, variable, universal life, and index. Well, actually, let me back up. There's variable life and variable universal life. And then there's index, universal life. Okay? So there's actually like 5 types right here. All right. I want to spend a lot of time right now on whole life. Okay? We're not even going to talk about the rest of them. Okay? Because whole life is a different animal than the universal type policies. Okay, these have this word universal, but they're kind of like in the same family. All right, so let's talk about whole life and what they do. All right, so in whole life, they take this same thing that I just showed you for term life, like this is a 10-year term, 20-year term, 30-year term. What they do is they take all the costs that's going to be associated with it, and they're going to do it all the way to age 100. All the way to age 100. So then they're going to charge you this much. It's going to cost more because they're covering you for all your whole life. Okay? So let's look at a couple of features of whole life. Okay, number one about whole life is you're talking about a fixed premium, 2, fixed interest, and 3, level, which is also fixed death benefit. So, all permanent life insurance policies have 2 components. They have the insurance component, and then they have a cash value component, which means they're saving money inside of the policy. Okay? Saving money inside of the policy. So as you make your payment, some of your money goes to pay for the insurance, some of the money goes into the savings that's happening inside of the policy. All of these work the same way as far as that's concerned. The difference is in whole life, all these things are fixed. The premium that you pay every month is fixed. The interest that you're going to get on the money in here is fixed. And then the death benefit, which in my example is $100,000, it does not change either. Okay? So let's talk about the premium and the cash value and the interest. When you pay on a whole life policy, you're paying more than the actual cost. Do you know the difference between cost of insurance and premium?
The cost of insurance is just enough to keep the policy in force, and the premium is so that you can keep the policy in force instead of putting money in the cash value.
Okay. Anybody else want to explain it a different way? What's the difference between cost of insurance and premium? Is premium is the same as cost of insurance?
The cost of insurance increases, the premium doesn't.
That's another good way to say it.
No,
What's
not
another
really.
way?
I don't know the difference.
Okay. So in all life insurance, the cost of insurance is always going up. cost of insurance. You see, when you're 35, your insurance costs a certain amount. When you're 36, your insurance costs a certain amount. When you're 37, your insurance costs a certain amount. When you're 50, it costs even more. The cost is going up no matter whether you see it or whether you don't see it. This is what I was showing you here. But nobody wants to pay something different every year on their birthday. So they make the premium level. The premium is what you actually pay every month. You're not necessarily paying the cost something different every time. You understand? So that's why on a 10-year policy, they take the cost and they make it some kind of average, and then you just pay a fixed amount every month. On the 20-year, you're going to pay more. In the 30, you're going to pay more. Whole life, you're going to pay even more, but it's level what you pay. Because nobody wants to do this. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. So the cost is happening internally. Yeah. Your premium is just what you're paying every month. Don't get confused. The cost of the actual insurance and the premium of what you're paying. All right? What happens is when you get a whole life policy, they're charging you way more than it really cost you at that age. So this extra money that you're paying, this goes towards your savings. So you might be paying $100 a month all the time. But at this point, maybe $40 of your money is going to pay for the cost, and $60 is going towards the savings. And then when you turn 36, maybe $45 is going to the cost, and $55 is going towards the savings. And then when you turn 36, you understand? Less and less of your $100. That's why, have you ever heard people say, well, if I pay $100 a month, is it 50% here, 50% here? It's a hard question to answer. Or some people say, is it like, are my $100, $50 go here, $50 go here? How do you answer that question?
It depends on your age, because the price, the cost of insurance is going up
inside of that policy. Mm-hmm. Okay? So it's not a set amount, because the cost of this thing goes up every year. So you might only be paying $100, but every year, less and less of your 100 is going towards your savings. More and more of your 100 is going towards your insurance. But what you're trying to do is you're going to keep building your cash value. This is your cash value. All this money in here is your cash value, this extra payment you're paying above your cost. What happens in this whole life policy is that this money gets interest. You understand? So it's growing like this. And then this is supposed, you see, one day your cost is more than the $100 that you're paying. You understand?
If you keep on
right here. If you keep on okay, you see right here when you're like 70, 80, 90, the cost is higher than your payment. In this case, you're still making a $100 payment, but your $100 is not enough. Maybe it's $150. So they're taking $100 from your payment here, and then they're taking $50 from here. So this cash value pays for your future costs. You understand? This is the inner workings of the policy.
Is that why you don't get any cash from the whole life?
You can get cash from your whole life. I'm going to explain that later. So the main thing here is to understand how it works. And then secondly, what's important to understand about whole life policies is all this stuff is fixed. So if the interest, this interest that they're paying you is fixed, what you're paying is fixed, your $100,000 benefit is also fixed. Don't you think they can put it into a computer system and calculate all the way out to 100? Mm-hmm. Yes, they can. So that's why how these things are working is they do this calculation all the way to 100, and they calculate it to the point to where your cash value equals $100,000 by age 100. They've calculated it to where you're paying, let's say you're paying $100 a month. Some of this money paid for the insurance, some of this money paid in cash value. This cash value is going to get interest. One day, first you're going to have $1,000 in here, then it's going to go to $2,000, and it's going to $3,000 as you get older, right? So what they're doing in this situation, let me erase all of these. In a whole life policy, this is your cash value. It grows over time, right? This is your $100,000 death benefit. This is your cash value. Okay? So they're going to calculate it where your cash value equals $100,000 by age 100. That's what they did with these policies. And if you live to age 100, you can cash it out and get your $100,000. That's how they make whole life policy. And they call this endowment when you reach this age. So let's say you built up your cash value. You built it up to $20,000. If you die, how much does your family get? $100,000. Let's say you build this up to $30,000. You die, how much your family get?
$100,000.
$100,000. The level is fixed. So really, how much? Some people feel like, well, what happened to my money?
You got your $100,000.
You have your money back.
So it's two ways to look at it. You can look at it like, well, they paid you $100 and they kept the $20,000. Or you can look at it like they gave you the $20,000 and then added another $80,000 from their pocket. However you want to look at it. So that's what's happening here. So as your cash, this is your cash value, right? This is your cash value here. So when you reach this point and you die, let's just say for example here. Okay? Let's say your cash value, this money right here is $20,000 at this point. And then what the insurance company is doing is adding $80,000. Got it? All right. So let's look at different types of whole life policies, because this example, can you go put it on 73? Or 70, put it on 72. This example right here is according to a payment for how long? To age 100. So then some people say, you know what, I don't want to pay all the way to age 100. Okay? This, first of all, a payment to age 100 like this that I showed you is called a straight life. Okay, this is types of whole life. This first one that I'm showing you right now is called straight life. There's another name for straight life. Do you know what the name of it is? Do you remember, William? You pay all the way to age 100 and then it's out, to age 100. No. This is called straight life. But there's another name for it.
Isn't it like pure life or something like that?
Not pure life. It's called ordinary life. Do you remember that? It's the same thing. Okay? Straight life and ordinary life. This means payment to age 100. So someone says, I don't want to pay to age 100 because when I get to 65, I might be retired, my income is not gonna be as good anymore. I don't wanna pay this money all the way to age 100. I wanna stop paying by age 65. I don't wanna pay anymore. So then what's gonna have to happen?
You're gonna have only 65 dollars.
Yes, you're gonna pay more.
Yes.
Because if you're not gonna pay all the way to age 100, then you need to pay a little bit more to stop here. And you still want the coverage all the way to age 100, though, because no matter what, the coverage goes to age 100. It doesn't endow to age 100. That doesn't change. You just want to limit your payments. So what do they call this kind of policy? I just told you. Well, yeah, but it's called limited pay whole life. That's what it's called. Do you remember saying that? Limited pay whole life. So they call it limited pay to age 65. They have some that say limited pay to age 95. And then they have which one? You just said something.
Paid up.
Paid up. Paid up what? That's, well, actually, they call them 20 pay. Have you seen that in the book? 20 pay life. What do you think 20 pay life means?
You paid in 20 years?
You pay it off in 20 years. So it might not be a specific age. It could just be a specific period. So then they would call it 20 pay life or 10 pay life. It means I only pay for 10 years and I stop. So if you want to pay it off earlier, you can imagine if you only want to pay it for 10 years, you're going to pay a whole lot more to stop it here. Does it make sense? Because you have to have enough cash value by the time you stop paying, and that interest is going to be able to pay for all these future years all the way up to age 100. The coverage goes to age 100. It endows at age 100. You're just limiting your payment. That's called limited pay. And what if somebody says, you know what, I just want to make one payment and I'm done? What is it called?
Single pay.
Single pay. Man, this is some easy stuff. Single pay life. You just make one lump sum payment.
Is that the same thing as a single premium holder?
Yep. Single premium, because the premium is what you pay.
You have to pay them $100,000 one time.
It won't be 100,000. It'll be some amount that after they add all this interest, about age 100 is 100,000. So it'll be less than 100,000. Okay. That all being said, you need to know this for your exam. You're not going to use this when you get your license and start working with us because we don't sell this policy. This policy is old. You just need to know it for the exam. Okay? We don't sell this policy. We deal with universal policy. Okay? Why do you think we don't do this policy?
Because there are better options, because people can have more better interest, better cash value.
Yeah.
And the coverage is better.
Yeah. And also the premium is fixed right here. You know, it's a fixed premium. It's only $100. You can't put more, you can't put less.